Let's go for it.
Hello and welcome to Make Some Noise. This is episode number 3, and our guest today is original Asphalt Ballet singer Gary Jeffries. Welcome to the show, Gary. And how are you doing today?
Man, I can't complain at all. I'm on a show, so I guess that makes it already a good day. And it
Yeah,
ain't
I mean, you're
snowing.
at a point in your life and career maybe where the word legendary, I know you go back to the 90s, but let's talk about Asphalt Ballet. That's where most people know you from.
Yep.
So, um, to talk about how the band first came together, and I always love to ask how you came up with the name because I've always loved the name.
Yeah. Well, the name, now that's a crazy thing, how it came up. Jay, one of our guitarists, was on a motorcycle. And it's possible that he might have been drinking or something, but on the motorcycle, it was, I think, at a stoplight, the bike went out from under him, and a cop came and I think got him for possibly public intoxication,
Okay.
if what I remember. And the police officer said, "Oh, you did a little asphalt ballet, huh?"
Wow.
So
Nice. There you go.
Jay's like, there's the name, even though he spent the night in jail for that name, he said it was well worth it.
Oh, man.
Memorable way to get your band name. Wow.
I
Jammie, I'm going to throw it
know.
to you. I know you and Gary have a relationship, or you guys are friends. So let's talk about how you guys initially met.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I was in the Air Force in Sacramento, California. On a weekend, I went to the boardwalk in Sacramento, California to see Bang Tango. I was a big Dancing on Coals fan. I love that album, Dancing on Coals. I actually have that CD. And I saw this opening band, and they came in with like jean jackets, long hair. They look like Skid Row just walked into place. I'm like, who are these badasses? They got up there, and the lead singer just had me mesmerized right off the bat.
Yeah.
Little did I know, man. In 2011, I was living in North Judson, and I saw that Gary Jeffries, I had remembered the singer. Gary Jeffries was a singer for Asphalt Ballet. I saw that Gary was on Facebook. I'm like, is this the same Gary Jeffries? No way. And I saw that he was in Monticello, and I was like, well, that's not far from me at all.
No.
And that's when I hit you up. I was like, dude, are you from like Indiana? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no way. And then I made it a plan when you played in Monticello downtown, remember?
I remember it clear.
And I
Yes.
came and visited you, man. And I was like, this is awesome. And we've talked ever since, man. And he's been real supportive of my music as well. Gary's become a friend.
You're
we
a
should.
hard worker. I said,
Oh, thanks.
Jamie kind of reminds me of me in 1992.
Okay.
You work your ass off, and you want the people to notice your music, and
Yeah.
you're a hard worker, man. You're constantly writing songs. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's like you have 2 or 3 bands going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I look back and I think, man, I was that hungry, and I still love music. That's the main thing. Music. There's no way I can stop it.
Right.
My wife can't stand me when I do stop because you get grumpy. You can't let out the frustrations, if you know what I mean.
I totally get that. Oh, yeah. I'm like that too. Especially this winter, man. I had one show booked in November. I had to cancel it because of the winter weather. We were going to open for Jackal, and I had to cancel it because of the weather. And I was like, all right, I'm not booking anything until spring. But then it leaves you just sitting there kind of going, I can't wait to play. Right.
Yeah. So it's no matter what, I said, music's never over. I would never say I'd ever retire. Said the good Lord's got to tell me when it's time to retire, because I got to do it,
And
Right, dude.
besides Gary Jeffries and Jammie Bosstel, people need to be remembered that Indiana is also original home of the great legendary David Lee Roth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. And you know who else? That one guitar player. And I remember his name in town. He started out, I think, with Axl Rose. He come from Monticello. He's become kind of a little bit of a renowned guitarist. He was in Guns N' Roses a little while. and he's done his own things. And I think him and even Slash have jammed together, but I can't think of his name. But
Oh, wow.
oh, there's one more, you know. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
There's Mellencamp, of course, too. He
yeah,
lives in Seymour, Indiana.
Seymour. You
Yeah,
had Axl Rose from Lafayette,
yeah,
Indiana.
yeah.
So
Oh,
He's a rock,
you're not
man.
talking about Izzy Stradlin, are you?
and Izzy Stradlin was too. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lafayette. I think they called it West Lafayette, Indiana.
And so, of course, Gary, the big hit for Asphalt Ballet was the song Soul Mover. That was all over MTV, especially Headbangers Ball. What was that like for you and the band when, thought, wow, our song's, getting that kind of airplay?
Oh, wow. What it feels like. I mean, you don't think it's really, that's
Yeah,
your dream,
yeah,
that, man, it'd be so cool to be on MTV. Man, the first time I seen that thing, of course, I was ready and loaded to enjoy the moment because that was a lifelong dream, and to
Yeah,
see it
man.
was a very big thrill. It's like, wow, all this work has paid off. No matter how much farther it goes, wow. I said, if I don't do another thing, that there, you know, MTV,
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
Especially
sure.
if you're a metal band, right? I mean, let me ask you about that, Gary, because you guys got lumped in with, metal. People describe it as alternative grunge. How would you describe the sound of Asphalt Ballet?
To me, we did have probably the same kind of lyrics they had later for what they called grunge and
Yeah,
stuff like that. And that wasn't deliberate. That was just how we wrote, especially Jay or Danny Clark, the two guitarists. That's how they wrote. We weren't a glam band. We were more like in a vein similar to Guns N' Roses, but
yeah,
not trying to copy them at all. My back influences was a little more southern rock. All
Yeah,
I did with Asphalt was I pushed the edge of southern rock a little harder, still a blues based singer.
yeah,
And I think it made it a good combination because they were edgy, hard rock, just a hard rock band more than metal or anything else, grunge.
sure.
right.
And then I played some harmonica in it, and it put a little bit of a southern,
Yeah.
a little bit of that bluesy southern edge to it, which no, I guess I did scream some,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Well, you were young at
Yeah.
very young
I
at the
thought
time, and you're still looking young. So rock and roll's keeping you young. I'm gonna throw it to Jammie.
I thought it had, of course, I listened to some of it again today. I was like, man, and I don't know, has elements of Skid Row in it too. It's got that
there
sound,
was. We
you
were
know,
right at that
your,
era. There,
your
there was
voice, dude.
oh, thank you, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
that, man.
Yeah, totally. When I saw you guys at the boardwalk, I don't know if you remember, because I'm sure when you're on a tour bus, you're seeing multiple places and it's just one gig after the other. I know how it goes.
Yeah.
But I remember the boardwalk. That place was great in Sacramento. And I remember seeing you guys open for Bang Tango, and I was like, man, who is this? You guys came in there mighty, just knocking the walls down, dude. It was awesome.
Well, Asphalt Ballet was one hard ass working band. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. We rehearsed 4, 6 nights a week. We were constantly writing songs, and it's the hardest working band I'd ever been in.
Yeah,
And I felt so fortunate. I mean, this is what, and to be myself too, kind of the singer I am, put a little southern edge. And all I know, we went out really freaking hungry, and worked hard. When that band went, I swear I think we sounded better than the album sometimes because that live feel in your performance, if you can hit your parts.
You were tight, man, for
Oh,
sure.
thank you. Thank you. We tried
100%.
hard, I mean, plus that was our first, I think bands when they go out on that first tour, when they've just got a record deal or, you've got a major tour coming on, Bang Tango. They're
Yeah,
just
dude.
fucking badass.
Yeah, they were.
To open for them were,
Yeah.
whoa. And that album they had right then was really badass too. But the adrenaline rush you get from going to those shows, you, it,
Yeah.
and with and with hard work, I think we sounded good, it was for sure. And we were hungry,
Yeah, I was fellow Hoosier, coming to California, and all I saw out there was original music.
Uh-huh.
Like, is this the way it is? This, because that's the first taste of live music that I had coming from Indiana. Like when I was in the military, and then I decided to stay in California. All I saw was bands doing their own music. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this must be the way it is. I never saw cover bands out there, dude. I saw
Never.
original bands all over Sacramento.
They're
It was
huge
Yes.
amazing.
now. Tribute bands, though, let me tell you, they're huge out here in LA, Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, the I couldn't believe it either. Went there and I was in a city where they didn't do many originals except I'd go in and play all original music, and
Right.
this was Monroe, Louisiana. I was living there at the time, and I tell you where I'm living right now, what's shocking is original music is it doesn't go over very good. The clubs will say, well, tell you what, maybe you could do two or three of your songs in your set.
Yeah.
Said,
Yeah.
but we want, and the thing is, you don't make a whole lot of money doing it. So if
No.
I feel like if I'm going to do it, what makes me high and put on my best performance is performing my own music. So if
Right.
I'm gonna broke doing it, let me do my own. And that ain't been easy,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
really
Well,
hard.
Gary, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm doing solo acoustic cover stuff right now, and I'm also in a cover band too.
Uh-huh.
And I have my three original bands, and my original bands play when they can, you
There you
know.
go.
'Cause we're entertainers, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I
So,
think you guys can both attest to this that if somebody wants to go home and listen to your CD, that's great. But when they come see you live, you're going to, kick them in the ass and you're going to give them a show to remember. You're not going to play just like the record.
right.
You
My whole attitude
do.
is do it all, man. Just do
Yeah.
it
You
all.
do. You can. Well, that's been my whole idea out here. I've been out here in it's called Kettering, Ohio, close to Dayton, Ohio now,
Oh, okay.
and they're just they. I haven't been able to play in this area because no really original spots. Now I have played a place called the Phrase, which is all national acts coming in, and a couple three here, but Monticello, of course, was an original place. Uh,
Mhm.
but it's been hard out here, and I'm too stubborn to
To give
budge
up.
off of it, at this age, and it's medicine, and
Right.
I just I do it because I love it, and if I at least want to do the music I love, so that's hard, and
So,
how it is.
so let
You
me
gave
ask.
me input too, Gary. You gave
Uh,
me input too on the industry and that. And you're like, man, it's not what it's cracked up to be. You were the first one to tell me your stories on how it's, how it is,
yeah,
$50 per diems and you tell your story, man. The Star Search thing and everything is so interesting. Everything you went through when you were playing at Indiana Beach back in the day. You were told me that story too, and
yeah, wow. First, Monticello, which I've been to North Judson a lot. You guys got these country
ain't
hemp
nothing up
fields
there.
out there that a lot of
Ain't
people.
nothing up there, man.
Yeah.
You had a nudist colony out there too,
Okay.
North Judson. But when I was really young, first the Beatles ate me alive. I seen them. I couldn't wait to see them. My parents and they brought some people over older to see them. Everybody's looking at them. Oh my God, look at their hair.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it set off a thing right there. And then I started working at the Indiana Beach, which had Jimi Hendrix,
Yep.
the Yardbirds, fucking excuse me,
It's all right.
It's
bands that
okay, man.
you didn't realize later were going to be. My boss let me go there to see these shows.
Wow.
So, oh man, I
Yeah.
can't tell you. And then what he did, he's seen that I liked music. Tom Spackman, he was the owner of the beach, and he had all of them. I mean, I'm talking Morrison, Joplin,
Wow.
Yeah, you
Wow.
were talking about
all
that.
of them, and he would let me go into the shows. And but then what happened, I was starting to play a little bit of music. I think we had a three-piece band then, and he let me open up for a band. You guys probably don't remember this band. Do you remember a band called the Blues Magoos?
I've
No.
heard them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, what they had was they had this song, and you'll remember it. It goes do 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 do
Oh, yeah.
do
There you go.
do
There you
do
go.
do.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Okay. That was
He
them.
let me open for that band, you know, and I
Wow.
think we was covering that tune.
Wow.
In we didn't do it that night, but that's how early it kind of started with the cover tunes, learning the Yardbirds
Oh,
after
wow.
I seen Beck and Page was playing bass guitar in that band at that time, you
Oh,
know.
wow. That's amazing. Now, let me ask you, Gary,
Uh,
let's talk a little bit about leaving Asphalt Ballet and what that was like for you. Let's talk about what you're doing now.
yeah. First of all, probably the hardest thing I ever done in my whole musical career, which has been a pretty long time. And I do have to say that was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I will never know if I was right or wrong,
Yeah.
you know, but all I knew, honestly, I had a wife at home that it became up to 7.5 months pregnant.
Okay.
I was broke. I only made about $160 a week as a per diem.
There
Wow.
you go,
Um,
man. There's the music industry.
that's the music, you know, and it's like, man, this, I just, you know, I told one of the record guys about it, the label, and where I lived at, West Monroe, Louisiana, it's pretty, whatever. To go into their state hospital was rough, and I wanted my wife to have more than that, but let's get right to the point. I went home and had to get a job. It took me 3 days to get home. And when I got home, about 4 days later, I was working in the Monroe Mall with my
Wow.
video on MTV, and I'm doing hair. I'm a hairdresser too, color and do all that stuff. Did a lot of rockers in Hollywood.
Wow.
But anyway, so here I am on my videos in stores. Even in that era, they even 92, they had them in stores, your videos, and
Yeah.
people would come by the hair salon and go,
Isn't that you?
why are you working here? I go, well,
Right.
to be honest, I gotta make a living.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you
Exactly.
can say, I'll pay, man, the band, and I'm all for the band, you
Right.
know, and some will drop everything for the band. And maybe I'm, I wasn't made to be that kind of a band guy, you know. I have a lot for my family, you know, so okay, this is what I got to do. And it was the hardest thing. I went through some really bad depression over it,
Sure.
but that was a dream that I'd worked for all my life to see the videos on MTV. But I do have to say, even when they had a big show for Asphalt in San Diego, California, um, and they were doing a show with the album and some of those songs from that era. One of the one of the big radio stations had called me up and put me on the air and said, you were a big part of that band. You know, I choke on it, you know, and I just appreciated it, you
Yeah,
know.
sure.
A station, you know, because I quit the band, you know, whether I was right or wrong, I'll never know. You know, I did what I felt at the time, you know, so it's still a hard thing in my heart and
Sure.
mind because
Yeah.
that band, they were good guys. We had something special, but I think the label was leaning towards grunge type music. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
But
I didn't have a grunge bone in my body.
Yeah.
You know, so it. I went on, and I got to be honest. Within a year, I was working with a really good blues-based band called Coupe de Ville.
Okay.
We actually did one album that didn't really do a bunch.
Is that Coupe de Ville with Albert Bouchard and Dennis Dunaway?
No, no.
Okay, because they have another band I think called the same thing. Yeah.
Wow. I think, and I've seen a few names because that's what I told the guys, but they had been that band name for a while. And
wow.
So it was fun. But then I couldn't stay away from California. Some other things was coming up, and it brought me back to California. And you know, I played with a group called the Regulators they were on Polydor Records.
Okay.
Great band, you know, good music. Biggest problem was staying sober They were one of those that just,
Mm.
and that's all I'll say. Great music, great guys, but I wanted something. I'm a little more straight laced because I feel better on my game when I'm, and not to say that I don't go out and raise hell and get, a little whatever every now and then, but for music, it just, but anyway, after that, I did do a group called Alligator Stew that actually did pretty good. We sold quite a few records.
Yeah.
As what was it called? Great American Country picked up one of our videos. We got between Toby Keith and Somewhere as getting the hot video of the week.
Wow,
And
that's pretty amazing.
I swear to God, it was a song called Blood Money. And I just sent it off the cuff thinking, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. This ain't gonna. And I put alligator claws in it and swamp moss and everything. So when she opened that thing up, she thought probably, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It was our video. And next thing you know, she contacts us and says, that's good. And put it on. And I think today that song would do great in country music.
And what's it like, kind of, because again, you're mingling with this new band. No, we probably know nothing about Asphalt Ballet or what you did before, and yet it's got to be a great kind of feeling of accomplishment. Like, wow, dude, experience it all over again.
Yeah. It's still, like I said, I've released Middle Class Man. Was one after the fact. The Coupe de Ville. I had one called Grouchy Rooster, which I couldn't believe it. A guy was recording all of our stuff in practice sessions. It came out, and it's called Real and Raw because it was real and raw. But what was crazy, sometimes that raw music where you're just jamming and not thinking about recording.
Yeah,
you wished you would have recorded it.
Oh, yeah. How many times have you written something by accident, right? For sure. Happens all the time in PTF.
Yeah. So that one came out, Grouchy Rooster. Alligator Stew had 3 albums out. My Ain't Done Yet album. I did one with a group called Stitch Pig Revival. I don't know if you've seen them or heard them.
I'll have to look that up.
They're, what would you, I think kind of a metal. The guitar player went on to get a guitar kind of record deal, and he's doing actually pretty good. He's a great guitarist. So after the Stitch Pig, I did one more just under the Gary Jeffries band, which is out there, but it was more of an EP. So I've done quite a few albums after.
You're working on anything now?
You know what I am. What I'm working on, it started out, I was just kind of going to help put some lyrics to a guy's song and put melody, and great guitar player. He had some chops that were really good. So I'm putting stuff on his stuff, that's good.
Cool.
Next thing I know, we're kind of writing songs together.
I'll tell you what, Gary, when you guys are ready to release something, I'd like you to come back on the show, okay, and talk about it.
Oh, I would love to do it then. I've just been keeping it under wraps because it was just for a fun thing to keep my blood circulating, because I had a lot of songs in my mind and my heart I needed to get out. I got one right now, and I don't know if it's good or bad. It's called The Price of Fame.
Send it to me.
And did I send that to you? Man. It's just kind of like when I was playing the first bars I ever played. Yeah. I had to sit on the stage because I was probably 15, 16. And it went through all the bar gigs. Then it goes up to saying, well, I had some pretty good bar gigs. Now I'm ready for LA. I'm ready for them record deals. I'm ready for the big time,
Yeah.
So that's what the next verse is about. Next thing, I get the record deal and I say, well, got a record deal. I got videos on MTV and I got all this shit going on. At a tour bus is really cool to be in. Sure. You feel you've really made the big time. And on the last verse, it goes, what was it? Let's see. Oh God. It ends up with, say, let's see. I got a record deal in 92, videos on MTV, a tour bus. That was really cool. At home, I have a family, a new baby on the way. I sure as hell ain't gonna
Wow,
give
it's
this
almost
up.
very autobiographical, those lyrics, just the story you told
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
It's got a whole story, and I'm kind of proud of that. And I've been working on it too, Jamie, on some stuff when since I sent it to you. I was so ready for somebody to hear anything, if you know what I
Oh,
mean.
dude, I'm open to that.
Oh,
Especially
I'll throw them right to you, Jamie. You know it.
anytime, brother. You know it, man.
Okay, but we have recorded 4 songs, and 2 of them just rock like a mother bear.
Yeah,
You know,
wow.
one's called Back Roads and Bar Stools, and there's 4 really good songs. I did take one song from about 25 years ago that actually was on the movie True Blood. It was a vampire movie,
Okay.
on HBO, and it had good rapport. Another band recorded it, and it was on a Hallmark show. So I thought, you know what? It's been 25 years ago. So I did a recording of that, few minor changes, but it's real close. And I think it's going to be a good contender too,
Wow.
So
Can't
I'm,
wait to hear that. And,
I can't wait to give it to you, man.
and I'm sure that you'll always be proud of that tag, ex Asphalt Ballet singer. I mean, that's so when you perform shows, do you ever throw in an Asphalt Ballet song?
Well, you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
The very first time I actually threw in an Asphalt song, Jamie was at the gig.
Yep. On a
I
solo.
didn't totally even know these guys were going to do it. The band was out of Kokomo. We put it together for playing Monticello, and they were fans of Asphalt Ballet.
Yep.
Wow.
So they laid it on me about a week before. Asked, how do you like that song, My Soul Survives?
Yeah.
I go, well,
yeah.
fuck. It's probably one of my all-time favorite songs, and they go, well, we got it down really good. You want to do it that night? I'm like, okay. Yeah. And we did it. And what was crazy, honestly, not that I knocked it out of the park, because I didn't have the same balls or lungs as that guy did in 92.
I thought it sounded great, dude.
It wasn't bad, though, was it?
No.
If I would have had more time to rehearse it. So I have recorded, though. I recorded a song called Heaven Winds Blow off the Asphalt Ballet album.
Wow.
And a song called Blood on the Highway, and that's on the Middle Class Man CD, which, get this, I swear to God, I'm not lying. You know how you hype shit up and some of it's bullshit. This is not bullshit.
Okay.
In France, I had a good rapport in France on my albums. They really liked my music, and anyway, they have a magazine there called it's Bands of Dixie.
Okay.
And they put up a thing for the people that subscribe to that and read that book, vote for their best bands, their favorite album of the year, and blah 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 blah. I swear to God, I got Gary Jeffries' band got best album of the year, and you won't even believe this. You think I'm a bullshitter? I'm not.
No.
Number 2 was Greg Allman,
Wow.
and some of the bands below. I got
2.
best vocalist, best album.
Wow,
and
man.
It was, I got the front cover, I got the back cover, and I got the middle, And
wow, that's great.
I'll send you a magazine if you can't, but it was.
Gary and Jamie, I want to thank you guys for doing the show. We got to wrap it up because otherwise we're going to cut off. But we're going to have you back on when you have something to promote. Okay, Gary?
I will, and it won't be long that I'll have at least a whole album's worth.
Let Jamie know, and he'll let me know. We'll
All right. Sorry to yap so much on there. You just guys got me.
That makes for a great interview. Let me tell you. I had a guy on once that I was interviewing, and we had to cut it short because everything I'd ask, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
No, at least not like that.
Like I heard that. I'm a jabbering, and music excites me, man.
I love it,
Gary. That's what we do this for. So thanks for making some noise with us today, Gary.
I love it, man. Thanks for having me, too.
We'll hit you on Tuesday. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Later.
Later.